Morning, everyone. June the 18th, 2020. Shakespeare Sonnet 87. This was a fun one to do some research on. A couple of things that I'm going to point out that I've compiled in my notes. And one of them is everybody talks about the ing endings. The present participle, as they say. And in some poetic analysis, this is apparently called a feminine ending. No idea. Studied a bit of poetry in university. Have English as a second teachable. I wasn't familiar with that. But then again, I didn't study sonnets. I studied Canadian poetry, which were not sonnets. Interesting thing about this, though, is he's back to prattling on about the fair youth. But there's all these references to bondage, but I don't mean like the sexual bondage. I mean like servitude, the word misprison. There's reference to being held against one's will to a point, I suppose it is. It's a bit of an anticlimactic poem. There's a lot of sarcasm in it. We're not really sure, and from what I've read, and I'm looking at my notes again, they're not really sure if Shakespeare means that he is in bondage to the fair youth or the fair youth is in bondage to him. But you can decide that on your own. But we are slavish in our dedication to people we love, and sometimes that puts us in a form of servitude to them that they're not responsible for. So this is a pretty interesting sonnet for technically having really weak rhyme scheme in a lot of ways. Weak in all but 4 lines end in ing, and weak in the fact that they're ending in participles, so it's not really, there's no uniqueness to the couplets and then therefore the quatrains. So here it is. Farewell. Thou art too dear for my possessing, and like enough thou knowest thy estimate. The charter of thy worth gives thee releasing, and my bonds in thee are all determinate. For how do I hold thee but by thy granting, and for thou riches, where is my deserving? The cause of this fair gift in me is wanting, and so my patent back again is swerving. Thyself thou gavest, thy own worth then not knowing, or me to whom thou gavest it, else mistaking. So thy great gift, upon misprison growing, comes home again on better judgment making. Thus have I had thee as a dream doth flatter, and asleep a king, but waking no such matter. Thank you. Have a great day.